All right, friends. Just wanted to just wanted to let everybody know that I'm launching a fitness series, a short series of videos about exercise, the value of exercise, physical activity, with realistic goals that I originally intended for a different channel, but I realize, as busy as I am, that I'm not going to be able to manage two separate channels. So I'm just going to post them here. These are videos that I have created over the last spring and summer while biking to work. And in each video, what I do is I address or I present one beneficial effect of physical activity, of exercise. I talk about immune benefits, I talk about mental health benefits, about brain plasticity, about heart health, about longevity, and a couple of dozen other beneficial effects. Occasionally, I bring in stories from my life as well to spice things up a little bit. And I'm curious to see if you watch some of these videos and if you have questions or if you have suggestions, feel free to share them with me either here as a comment or on that individual video's comment section so as to for me to be able to see it. So I just posted the first in the series, a very short video. I think it's about 15 seconds, where I bring up this rather amazing statistic, which simply says that for every hour of physical activity that we invest in, we stand to gain on average, based on extensive research, 2 extra hours of life. You know, few things in life are so um, have such a nice return on investment in a very predictable way. You know, if you are in the market and you can make $2 for every dollar that you invest, and you can do that consistently and predictably, you can be considered an amazing investor. Again, if you invest $1 and you make two for every one that you invest, and you can do that over a long term, you are a great investor, and you know you would have a huge following. Similarly, in fitness, in exercise, I can tell you as a physician, and based on decades of research, that for every hour of physical activity that you engage in over the long term, you stand to gain 2 hours of extra life. So you spend an hour, but you gain 2 hours. And this is quality life. This is life that you can live usually at your peak physical, mental, emotional, and hopefully spiritual health. So this is no small deal. So for those of you who just joined, I'm Dr. Gily. I'm a primary care physician practicing internal medicine for adults. And I have a passion for promoting healthy lifestyle. And I'm just launching here today on my channel on YouTube a series on fitness. These are videos that I created over the last year or so biking to work. And in each video, I present one of the major benefits of physical activity. I talk about heart health. I talk about longevity, just like I mentioned earlier when I said, you know, you can get an extra hour of life, in fact 2 hours of life for every hour that you invest in exercise. I talk about immunity. I talk about bone health, muscle health, mental health, everything that you can imagine. And I present that as I'm biking back and forth from work. You can see some nice nature from the town I used to live in last year when I made these videos in Southeast Washington, in Walla Walla. And I plan to continue to make such videos moving forward. And if you have questions, you have anything that is of interest in this topic or anything else, feel free to post it. Somebody here, Maddie Gonzalez, thinks I sound like Gru. I certainly do. I mean, I'm the voice of the guy. I'm the guy behind the scenes. and I even look like him. So take it for what it's worth. If if Gru, if it takes for you to hear Gru telling you you need more exercise, so be it. I can even bring the minions to help along the way. But anyways, joking aside, I intend to pursue this series on exercise and share it with you because the reality is in the Western world, I look like the food judge from Ratatouille. It's funny how people associate somebody's looks with characters they've seen growing up or even as adults in movies, in cartoons, in whatever. I had, when I used to work in Washington, I had a couple of patients that every single time they would come, they would say, man, and you know, when my hair is longer, it gets curly, and they say, you are just like the Willy Wonka character. What's his name? Gene Wilder. Somebody else, I had a younger patient with a kid, and every time he would come with his kid because he was a single father, so the kid would be with him almost at every visit. The kid would be like, Dad, this guy's like Gru, you know, he's exactly like Gru. Have you noticed? So it's funny how we associate things with stuff that we enjoyed watching. But um, I think we can carry that further and say, you know, if we can draw inspiration and live a healthier lifestyle by looking at other people who are able to implement these things and present them to us, we all stand to gain, right? So, in that spirit, I invite you to watch this series on fitness that I'm launching here, and I'll check back with you again in another live soon. Thank you.